Ooga, booga, ooga, booga.
Hello, boogies! Welcome back. This is a submissions video. I asked you guys to submit any advice you were seeking from me, and I'm going to give you really good advice. I might be saying, Dylan, I don't remember you telling us to ask you for advice. When did you do that? The reason you might not remember is because I asked for it a couple months ago. It was a while back. It was so far back that I actually had a couch back then. And I made the video. I recorded a whole video. My editor spent 3 days working on it. And, I watched it back and I was like, you know what? I don't think I like this very much. It wasn't his work. Sorry, Joe. He's gonna kill me. But now that we have the r/Am I the Asshole series, we have a place to talk about people that almost feel like they don't exist. Because there's a high likelihood that the people we're talking about will never see my video, will never see your comments. But with this is you guys submitting questions for me. You want my advice. I had to take this a little bit more serious, and I wasn't taking it serious enough before. But I can assure you now, today, I'm going to be as serious as a 20-year-old you've ever seen. I'm gonna put my super serious nose ring in and be serious and give great advice. Hi Dylan, I love you and your videos. You've helped me make it through some tough times. I need relationship advice, sorta. I'm a 17-year-old girl. Said to be an overachiever, workaholic, perfectionist, haughty. Ooh, they hit you with the haughty? The first thing I hear from people when they meet me is, wow, you must scare guys off a lot. Is that weird? That's weird. That's weird that people are saying that to you. You're 17. It hurts because I've been alone my whole life and it would be nice to find a great guy to marry, you know? You're not in America. I almost am certain. At 17, thinking about marriage and everyone around you is talking about your dating prospects as a 17-year-old? Do you as a guy feel sort of threatened by a woman who's good at a lot of things, pushes you to do your best at any time, or do you know any guys who think so? Is it like common for guys to want a woman that is not as good as them just to not feel emasculated? No guy over like the age of 10. I've never met a guy who's seen a woman succeed as their dating partner or romantic prospect and thought, wow, that sucks. It's a very immature mindset. I would not worry about this at all. Biggest thing I would tell you, advice-wise, is I would say, yeah, just pump the brakes a little bit. Focus on understanding yourself, and then things will come in time. Hi Dylan, I'm in a desperate need for some relationship advice, as my boyfriend and I are currently going through a bit of a rough patch. Let's see if we can help. I just recently found out that he's been talking with other women online and had been keeping it a secret from me. He claims that it's just flirting and that I'm the love of his life, but I can't help but feel a little betrayed. He also made the claim that most people tend to have open relationships, but didn't go on to specify whether an open relationship was what he wanted for us. Do you think that his actions qualify as cheating, or am I just being paranoid and overprotective? I have a feeling you know what's going on here, because I think everyone can back me up on this one. This guy bad. Don't be with this guy. This is not the one you want to be with. Anyone who's like, oh, but you're the love of my life, to get out of a problem, that's such weasel behavior. He made a claim that most people tend to have open relationships. That's not true. You know that's not true. Most people have closed relationships. Dating is supposed to be you vetting the other person. How do they handle situations when they need to be accountable? What are they like in moments of need or crisis? These are things you need to be paying attention to when you're dating somebody. What happens if I like a guy who I've already friend-zoned? Pluck him out of the friend zone and you make a miracle happen. I am a 22-year-old female and I've been interested in a 36-year-old male from work. Honestly, I never go for guys that much older than me, but we've had a very flirtatious relationship for the past few months. On one hand, I am attracted to him, so theoretically, I want something to happen between us. However, I can't seem to get over the fact that he's 14 years older than me. Should I even be interested in a guy who might consider dating a girl 14 years younger than him? If he made a move on someone that much younger, shouldn't that seem like a red flag? I went back and forth on this one. I really don't know. I'd say once you're like 25 to 28, like at that point, age gaps no longer really matter that much because you both accrued enough life experience to kind of mitigate the difference in age. But when you're 22, that's, if you went to college, you're probably just fresh out of college, and he's 36, which means he's deep into his adult life, you know? So it's, oh God, I don't know. I would probably just avoid it, to be honest. It's a yellow flag. That's my opinion. I'd like to pose the question for you guys. I think it's a yellow flag. Be very cautious. Feel free to give your opinion on any of these, but specifically the ones that I throw to you guys, I would love to hear because I don't know myself. Last year I met a guy in college. We started talking and became really good friends. I started liking him, and sometimes I think he's flirting with me. Problem is that he has a girlfriend. They've been together for about 2 years. I don't know what to do. Should I keep flirting with him and see what happens? Or should I take a step back and let him be happy with his girlfriend? I have a very clear stance on these sorts of things. If they're with somebody, you don't want to jump into a relationship with them, because then that means that you're with somebody who left their last relationship to be with you. So now you're with like a nomad. You're with somebody who's willing to leave their current partner for the next partner. How are you ever going to find comfort in that relationship when you know that your partner is a nomad? I am 24 and currently looking for a sugar daddy. Thank you for submitting. When I told my friends this, they said that I was a sloosh because I was basically selling my body to a disgusting old man. I have told them that guys my age are too immature and all they want is the schmoosh. Is it bad looking for a connection in older men who are willing to pay for my time? Or should I do what I feel is right? I know the situation is a bit controversial and any advice is needed. I will give you advice because you do need it. I think that you have gone through one or several relationships that have not ended very well. There might have been cheating involved, levels of immaturity. You have mentioned it. Guys your age are too immature. So I think that you want to protect yourself by receiving some sort of compensation so that even if like bad things happen in the end, you can look back and be like, well, at least I made money off of it. Those sorts of transactional relationships, I can't imagine that they tend to end well in terms of like into long-term romances, largely because you're basically saying, I'm not going to spend time with you unless you pay me. I think a lot of people have conflicting opinions on what you want to tell future partners. I tend to want to know like the things that my partner has been through, good and bad. So if someone I was dating had gone through this, was a sugar baby, I hate that phrase. You'd be a sugar, that you would forever be a person who was at one time a sugar baby. Do you want to have to tell every partner in the future that you were at one time a sugar baby? Or maybe you're the type of person who's like, I don't care. I like money. Money's fun. I want to have it. So therefore, I'm gonna bang old men. That's another one. I'm gonna pass that one to you guys in the comment section. My boyfriend and I have been going out for 2.5 years now, and I love him and his family so much. I see a life with him someday, getting married, having kids, traveling, etc. But he likes making out and other smash stuff. We haven't had the smoosh, we're waiting till marriage. But I don't enjoy it that much. I think I might be ace. I think that's where you're not into smooshing. But when I talk to my mom about it, she says that I need to get over it if I want to get married because men are super horn dogs and love smoosh. And that I have to serve my husband. Okay, we need to take a step back here. I don't agree with it, but if we get married someday, I don't want to mess this up. I remember watching this very interesting video. There was this couple that were being questioned and they were also waiting till marriage before they did anything. It became very clear that the guy was waiting and he just was like desperately waiting. Like he could not wait to get married because he wanted to take it down to Pound Town. Meanwhile, the girl, it felt like she wasn't really looking forward to the schmoosh. It kind of felt like the whole waiting till marriage was just an excuse to put off having to smoosh for a good long while. It was actually kind of heartbreaking because they had lived together, they had like taken out a mortgage together, like, oh, it was bad. One of two things is gonna have to happen. You are either going to have to come to some sort of agreement, you have to talk this out with your potential husband-to-be and be like, okay, how much are we expecting? How much do I want to do? Or the other option is you're gonna have to find somebody who understands and has a low libido, someone who doesn't want to smoosh all the time. If you want to smoosh at all, maybe you find someone else who is ace and then you just have a very non-smooshing relationship. But this is huge. Yeah, these are things that need to be worked out before you get married. Hi Dylan, I just wanted to start this by saying I love your videos and thank you for making them. You're welcome. You're so welcome for my videos that I profit off of. I like to joke around with them, but that one felt a little too serious. But I was like, oh, you're welcome. For context, a couple years ago, my boyfriend cheated on me a few times. I was dumb and young and got back together with him after, and we're still together now, 3 years later. After the last time he cheated, he was changed into a brand new guy. He's caring, kind, and I honestly believe he loves me. Thing is, as I grow older, I was 17 when he cheated, I am now 22, the cheating won't stop bugging me. This was an issue for the first 2 years after he cheated, but now I keep thinking that I don't really want to be with someone who once cheated on me. I don't know what to do. I do love him. I really do, but I can't see a future with him. Do I pull the... Oh, yeah, whoa. Easy. I think, yeah, if you're like, I don't want to be with you, then I think the answer's pretty clear. It's just your emotions are like, no, hang on to this. I was originally going to throw this one to you guys in the comment section to see what you guys had to say about this. What do you make of a reformed cheater? If it's like she said, he's a brand new guy, he's earned the forgiveness, and he no longer engages in anything that might be misconstrued as cheating, would you guys be okay with that relationship? It's very easy to be like, no, yeah, leave it when it's not your own relationship. But think about if you're in a relationship and think about if that happened with your significant other. I am a 24-year-old man married with five children. Recently, I figured out my wife has been cheating on me. I love her too much to divorce her or kick her out. My children all love her to death. That's because she's the mother. As a fellow man, Dylan, oh, don't pull the man card out of me. That's a cheap card to play, sir. I need you to help me out here. She has been doing this for the past 4 months, and I just can't take it anymore. What do I do? To have 5 kids and still have the time and the energy to bang somebody else, impressive. No, okay, it's funny. We just had the last post about cheating. If we already acknowledged we're not moving on, we're not divorcing, we're not kicking her out, okay, we need to figure out then the core root of why she's cheating. Perhaps she's feeling like she needs an escape. You have a lot, you have a brood, you have a roster. You are 4 kids shy of fielding a whole baseball team. You're only 24. I wouldn't be shocked if you fill out the whole roster of the team, pitching staff and all. Either way, I think the point that I'm trying to make is she's maybe missing that element, that romantic element. And when you have 5 kids, there's a lot of duty involved in that. You need to give her time away, but time away with you and not some other dude. Oh God, I don't even know how you address this. Because the problem is, like, you're coming in already willing to forgive. If you come in and you're like, hey, I know you've been cheating, but it's okay. She's gonna look at you like, I can just walk all over you and it's fine. Just address it, leave things up in the air, allow her to apologize, and hopefully want to make amends. We'll cross our fingers that that's what she wants. Then say you'll think about it, take a couple days, and then come back and be like, okay, we need to readdress, we need to reconfigure things. Let's figure it out. I saw my boyfriend and my best friend making out after school, but I haven't told any of them that I did. So for payback, I kissed his best friend, and it led to us hooking up. Did I do the right thing? Well, of course you did. I can't imagine a more mature response that you could have had. Good work. How did you get over your trauma? I and my friend use a high-level psychological tactic called the bottle technique. So what this entails is you take all the bad feelings and then you stuff them in a bottle inside of you. And then you find the tightest cap you can find and you screw that bitch on. And then you cross your fingers that one day it does not explode at the wrong time. So I would say that's the best way to do it. My family is very much a God-fearing family. Oh, man, I like religion. A lot of things that religion creates, just very wholesome communities. But anytime you fear God, I don't get it, man. I guess he's got all the power, but isn't God supposed to be like loving and stuff? They think I should save myself for marriage and obey my husband. I've been dating this man and my family has been pressuring me to marry him at 19. Wow. They don't know we have an open relationship. I've slept with many people and I even got a job as a My boyfriend is fine with it. I might marry him, but I'm too young. And he doesn't want to. I like the order. Here are the 2 reasons. The main reason is because I'm too young, but the secondary reason is because he wouldn't say yes if I asked him. What should I do? What are you asking me for advice? Seems like you got things figured out. God, that's gonna be such an awkward conversation. Because what's it like when your dad finds some of your work, you know? You know what I mean? He'd stop, right? He'd stop what he was doing.
Do not come. Do not come.
How does he address it? Hey, I saw you on this site. Dad, what were you doing on a site like that? Oh, now he's in trouble. Either way, fun conversation. Let us know how it goes. Any advice on how to be more confident? On a scale of 1 to 10, my confidence is negative 3,000. Being confident. I had a revelation about this. I don't think I was a very confident person. And I know what your thought is like, Dylan, you're the coolest 20-year-old I've ever seen. But it's true. There was a time I wasn't as confident as I am now. I think what I did subconsciously, my conscious brain is stupid. I have a really dumb conscious brain. My subconscious brain, I think, is pretty good. So a lot of the things I do, I don't even realize I'm doing, but I'm doing it well. But a lot of the things I think I'm doing, see, my conscious brain's trying to take over the sentence, but it's like, I don't know where to go. Subconsciously, I think what I did was I looked at traits that I admired in others. Sit down and think about someone you admire, or people you admire, and the things you admire about them. And I would list the things out. Once you've listed out a couple things that you admire in other people, try to be that yourself. If you can become the things that you admire in others, you're eventually going to admire yourself. And how can you not be confident when you like so much about yourself? How do I find my own G-spot? Yeah, I can help you. There is a common misconception that the G-spot is downstairs. That's why you're having trouble finding it. G-spot is actually in your mouth. Behind your back molar, where the wisdom tooth would be. Just a little bit behind there. Spend a little time rubbing back there. Just really feel it. Feel it good. Get your finger in there, feel around. It might take about 8 to 12 minutes, but you'll feel the sensation. If you don't find it, then there's something wrong with you. I know almost every man says that the girl making the first move is very attractive, but the problem is, how do I do that? Last night I was at a wedding and there was a guy that looked like you pulled him out of a Disney movie or something. And I pointed it out to the people I was with. Everyone started pushing me to go fall into his arms like a damsel in distress so that I could get his Instagram, but I didn't feel comfortable doing that. Yeah, thank you. I'm glad. There was some sensor in your head that said that this wouldn't go well, and I'm glad you listened to that sensor. He was just sitting at the table looking around not doing anything. The thing is that if he was dancing or walking around doing something, I might have done something like that, but I felt very awkward just going and talking to him out of the blue. The question is, how do you approach someone without seeming weird in this type of situation? I think generally people are pretty receptive, especially if they're alone, and especially if they're at a place where, like it's a social event, like a wedding. Like you approach someone in the gym and they got their headphones on, you're kind of like invading their space a little bit, they're trying to get their work done. But a wedding is entirely a social place. Make sure you're not related. First of all, can we... I've made that mistake before. I mean... People tend to make that mistake. I wouldn't make that mistake. Check the relation to the people before you end up doing anything. Luckily, because men typically in real life are the ones that approach, you kind of have a low bar. Because guys don't get approached much, so you just come over, you can pretty much say anything you want. Well, I wouldn't say anything. You can't just be like, hey, I saw you from across the room. Your testicles really stand out in your pants. Like, you can just see the outline. They look great. I just see comedy scenes in my head where someone's like, oh, Dylan said I should go approach this guy. So you do, and then the guy's just he's the biggest asshole. He just like looks you up and down and is like, you? Thought you and me. And then you get mad at me. Hey, Dylan, I'm a 20-year-old female. To begin with, I love your videos. Of course, why would you not? They make me laugh. Of course, they're so funny. I wanted to ask you how to overcome the anxiety of failure. I'm sort of a perfectionist and I'm terrified of failing. How do I overcome this? Y'all want to be good at stuff. No one likes failure. But there is a gold mine of information within failure. If you can mine for that, figure out what went wrong, why it went wrong, and then also what you can do better in the future, you're gonna be a better person the next day. So there's like value to failing. General life advice for young adults. I think that includes me. I am a 20-year-old, so I think I'm with you on this. My advice for young adults is you're not as smart as you think you are. That's sadly true, because I thought I was like the smartest guy ever. And it took me a while to figure out that I'm actually kind of an idiot, which is sad. There's so much wisdom that comes in life through experience. Best way to get away with murder: thorough planning and make sure to make it look like it was self-inflicted. Don't murder. You know what? Oh my god. I have my list of ones that I wanted to cover, and I accidentally got the number wrong, and I came across this one. I love my sibling, and we kissed last night. But I can't even imagine our future together because she is my sibling, and I feel terrible for even being in this situation at the first place. But this is going on for a couple months, and I'm in love with her. It's all so weird. Oh my god. I hate that I stumbled on this one by accident. Maybe it's fate, though. I feel like this freaky shit just finds me. I would say, stop. Find someone else. Jesus Christ. I don't even. You know what? I've seen all I need to see for today. I think that's where we end it. Thank you to all who submitted. Again, there were literally over 11,000 submissions. A lot of people looking for my advice. I can't blame you. I give the best advice. If for some reason you take my advice and it doesn't go well, that's on you. It's not on me. Thank you for watching. I'll let you guys know when we do the next submissions video.